Hey, this is Traci Knoppe. I wanted to talk to you today about goals, dreams, and I guess visions or plans that you might make. I think most people probably know my story about how I've been a web designer since 1998 and just kind of had my business, took clients as I wanted. My husband made the majority of the money. And then in 2009, he used to work for Chrysler, and he lost his job like everybody else did in the St. Louis area. And it was a struggle because he just assumed that he was going to go right out and find another job, and he didn't. And as the months wore on and the money in the bank account was getting low, I realized that I needed to restructure my business so that I could duplicate and make enough money to support the family. So I had suddenly found myself as the breadwinner for the family instead of a supplemental income, as it always had been. And, it was scary, it was stressful, but I did it. And I was, I wrote down everything I knew how to do, and I just basically monetized what I already knew how to do. And that was kind of my business goal and mindset and how I was intending to make the money. And I was already making money doing this. I just knew that I needed to organize, restructure, and go a different direction. And so I wrote down what I could do. I kind of rebranded myself from a web designer to more of probably really more of like a technical VA. But because my skills were not just web design, I was helping internet marketers, entrepreneurs, and I also had my own product and was doing my own speaking. I was really understood internet marketing all the way around, more than just maybe just somebody who just did websites. And I had a lot more technical skills than that. So it's probably more like a technical VA, although that's not really what I called myself, but that's probably the best, closest description at that time to what I did. And I hired a team, and I was at profit in 10 days and doing six figures in 5.5 months. So took off really, really well. And here's where, I believe God gave me a vision, and He gave me the skills and the ability to do what I know how to do. And it really saved my family. Otherwise, if I wouldn't have been willing to do what it took, we probably would have been homeless or living in my parents' basement or something like that. And I knew that I didn't want to do that, and I knew that I had the skills and the ability. I just also had enough tenacity and willingness to do what it took in order to make this work. And I'm really glad that I did. But there were times along the way when I would get an idea or a goal or a vision or something that I could do, but I realized every time I tried to pursue that, I was getting roadblocks. It's like it just didn't feel like the right time. And so whenever I call it like a Holy Spirit go, I get this little knowing inside, do this now. And that's how your web tech team actually started. I just got that light bulb moment when I'm sitting there going, what in the world do I do? How do I do this? I got that light bulb moment going, this is what I need to do. And I just took action quickly, and I would go back and tweak it and fix it later. And it wasn't always perfect, and there's been hiccups along the way. But I didn't let it stop me. I didn't let it get me down. I just would redirect, refocus, regroup, and I just kept going. That's a good thing. But there were other things that I had that I thought, wow, this would be great ideas, ways that I can maybe grow or expand the business. And for whatever reason, it didn't work out. But there was one thing that I had, and I had another company, like a division of, that was going to deal with local marketing and some things like that. And my vision was that I would hire salespeople to go and sell the services, and then I would have me and the team. I would be more the managing side of things, and then I would have the team actually doing the work. And it seemed like a great plan, but I was so busy dealing with client work that, I knew it could work, but I just didn't have the infrastructure in place, and it just didn't seem like the right time for me to do that type of growth and expansion. So I just kind of put it on the back burner and I didn't think anything of it. My business has grown and I'm doing incredibly well. I kind of fine tune who my target market is and working with those select few clients. I'm getting paid really well for what I do and for what I know. And that's a good thing. But it just so happens, though it's probably been about 2 months ago now, a mutual connection through a client. I contacted this person, and anyway, it ended up growing and developing into a new business partnership. And that was great because, I could do all of this work. This is work that I'm already doing. And it wasn't until I think it was 2-3 days ago that this new person that I'm working with, is kind of this joint venture partnership, for this ongoing business model, said, basically, I'm the salesperson and you are there to fulfill and do the work and organize and manage all the projects. And when I said that to my husband and I thought about it and I thought, wow, that is the exact business model that I had thought of, and it's probably been at least 3 years ago that I had this vision of getting salespeople to go out and sell the services and the packages and the things that I could do, and then I would just manage it and and do it and all of that sort of thing. And that's exactly what happened. And I didn't even go looking for it. It found me. And it wasn't even an intentional thing. It was just through networking and connections and people that I already knew. Didn't even know this person had any of these skills, had any of this other stuff going on. And so that one small, wow, okay moment has more than doubled my income, my net income, which is phenomenal, which is putting me on track with another goal that I had in a certain amount of net income that I wanted to have for myself and my family. It was just a goal that, a number that God had given me. And, to me, it's not necessarily all about the money. It's all about, providing for my family. And I can be frugal and I can do that, with as little or as less money as I need to. But I do make, a good living, and I'm very thankful for that. But this is all putting everything on track for that other goal that I had that I wasn't necessarily going to necessarily purposely strive for a set number of dollars, because I think money is fleeting, and I think that I would rather help people in a good way and get paid for it, but I'm not going to lose sleep because I didn't hit a certain dollar goal, because I don't think a dollar goal is my goal. But the Lord gave me that goal, and it looks like He is going to be the one that is actually going to make that happen. Despite what I think or what I do. So I just thought that was interesting that, sometimes I think we struggle and we strive too much for a goal and a vision, and sometimes the struggling and the striving and maybe the stress or the worry or something can be a hindrance if we just calm down, take a step back, and just do our thing. Then at the right and appointed time, the people will come in. You have to be willing to recognize it when it's coming your way, but don't push and don't try so hard. Let it come to you, and it's in the right time, it will happen. I truly and honestly believe that. Who knew that, 17 years or more ago when we got the internet, and I'm like, what's this HTML stuff? And I enjoyed it as a hobby, as something for me to do, and I would spend hours and hours and hours. It was almost like I was obsessed with it. And at that time, it probably seemed like foolishness and a waste of my time, and I should be, doing something else. But if I had not spent all the hours and hours and hours and years learning and developing my skills, where would my family have been in 2009 when my husband lost his job? Because those are the very skills that have now taken us to income greater than my husband ever made. And he is totally okay with that. He now is the CFO for my company and manages all the books and the invoicing, and he helps with the house and the kids and the homeschooling and everything else. Role reversal, yes, but we're all home because we homeschool and we work from home and we're all here and it's all equal and it's a joint effort. Even though I'm the driving force with the skills, I was brave enough and had enough tenacity to do what I needed to do to keep the family going and together. And I just was ingenious and creative to be able to do what I needed to do. And if I hadn't had the skills, I could sew or, I could do whatever I needed to do. But I think in today's economy and society, we have to be open to looking at things a little bit differently, because working for somebody else and relying on a job to provide you with your income isn't necessarily a security anymore like it used to be. It may be you don't think of yourself as an entrepreneur, and maybe you're not. And there absolutely has to be people going out and working jobs and fulfilling those roles. There absolutely does. But if you believe that you have something else inside of you, something else that you want or that you could do or that you could go for, changing your lifestyle, maybe having more time with your family instead of going to work or something, I absolutely would encourage you to pursue that. Look at what you can do. Talk to your spouse and see, hey, what do you think? Maybe it could be something you can do together. But I believe that we have times and seasons in our life for everything. And I just want to encourage you that just because you're of a certain age, don't think your time or your season of productivity is over, because it's not. I just turned 50, and wow, I just feel like I'm hitting my peak. I'm just almost at my peak. I don't even know if I've been there yet, and I'm looking forward to it. I really think it's a great thing, but I just wanted to encourage you to be looking for those connections, those people that might come into your life, those situations that maybe you thought were all in your head and weren't going to happen. They could still happen. Just let it happen when it needs to happen. Don't necessarily try to do it. Just be open to it. Anyway, that's all I needed to say. Hope you have a great day.